Hi, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to hear us talk about our project. My name is Dustin, and with me is Jonathan, Michael, and Christian, and we are the devs. Our client, represented by Dr. Ghosh, is the UNF School of Computing. Our community partner and mentor is Mr. Jonathan Ohlrich, co-founder of Imagined.Cloud. Our project was to build a hackathon management system for the School of Computing. For those who aren't familiar with what a hackathon is, it's a competition in which a problem is solved during a set period of time. This problem could be anything from programming to cybersecurity to data science. You may be wondering why this is a problem for the School of Computing. The answer is simple: money. Currently, there is no in-house system for the school to use, so to host a hackathon would require going through a third-party system, which requires funding. Our goal has been to build a management system that will allow the school to not only host more hackathons, but to do so more effectively. Some of the requirements Dr. Ghosh asked for were for participants to be able to register for an account and to be able to join competitions. He also wanted them to be able to submit code for online competitions, as well as manage their account. So allow them to see how many competitions they've joined, how many they've competed in, as well as change their user ID or change their password. For the administrators, he wanted them to be able to manage and create competitions, meaning he wanted to be able to set the start and end dates as well as create the problems. He also wanted administrators to be able to download and score the code that is submitted by participants. Along with this, he wanted administrators to be able to update and create a leaderboard that will allow the participants to see how they stack up against others. And finally, he wanted administrators to be able to download competition analytics. For example, he wanted to be able to see how many participants there are for various competitions.
As far as technology stack, the project was developed in ASP.NET MVC. We used GitHub for our version control, Jira for our team management and assignment of tasks, Microsoft SQL Server for our database, Discord for team communication, and finally, Microsoft Azure for the deployment of the project.
Hello, I'm Christian Mercado. I'm going to be showing you the participant view. All right, so immediately when we log in as participant, we can see our different competitions we have. We have our fall or spring and our IEEE Extreme. To join one, we'll go ahead and click the details page on any of the tabs. So from here, we'll hit register once we see, and this will give us all of our kind of analytics for our competition. All right, from there, we'll go to our competition summary page. We'll go ahead and click summary. And our summary page is to see if we have multiple competitions that we've kind of flagged that we want to join. We can go and delete them from there or go ahead and just join them. All right, so now we've gone ahead and joined competition. We can see in our competition history page our current competitions we've joined. We've joined a few before this. So here we'll see our details on this and the amount of competitions that we joined. Once we join a competition, we will be given an email to our, whatever email that we put it on when we're registering, that will kind of say that this is successfully joined and this is the competition that you joined. So from there, we can view our leaderboards to any competition. So we'll see other participants in that competition. We'll see the scores submitted by the admins once they grade the code. All right, and from there, the most important part of a participant in a competition is to upload the code that they've made. So we'll go ahead and submit a file. We're going to submit a Python file for this demo. All right, and once we upload that, that'll be given to our admins in the database, and they'll be able to go ahead and grade that. All right, I'm going to hand off to Mike for the admin portion of this.
Hi, my name is Michael Zulfekar, and I will be demonstrating the admin features of the UNF Hackathon management system. So I will now log into our admin account. And now once we're in our admin account, we see a tab called Competition Management. Now this is a feature where admins get to create the competition, which consists of the competition events, types, and of course, to finalize the competition itself. So for now, we're going to be creating a competition event. Now, a competition event is basically the theme of the competition that we're trying to go for. And here you can see a bunch of previous competition events that we've created and which is the UNF Fall Hackathon 2020 and the Spring Hackathon 2020 and IEEE. And of course, these features right here, this is an edit feature in case if we wanted to change the name or of the competition event. And this right here is the details view where you get to view the competition details event. And of course, this is a delete function where we get to delete the competition event itself. But in our case, we're just going to be creating a new event. So we're going to call it the UNF Remote Hackathon. Now, once we create our competition event, we go on to the next page where we create the competition type with that event. Now, in most hackathons, participants can join as a team into a team-based competition or as an individual-based type competition. But in our case, we are going to be making a competition type based on the event we just created. So we'll just call it team. And now, finally, we are going to be going to the finalized competition page where we now finalize the competition that we're about to create. So I'm going to give this a data structures competition. And of course, descriptions, this is where we get to describe the competition itself. So and of course, I can bold this for better emphasis. Now, an image is just a profile picture of the competition that we're going to create. So I'm just going to give it an image. And of course, competition event. This is where we're going to make it, which event it's going to correspond under. So we're going to give it the UNF Remote Hackathon we just created. It's going to be teams. Now, competition date is the date that the competition is going to be held at. So we're just going to give it today's date of April 22nd. And we can make it at 6 p.m. So now that we created the competition, we can now filter through the competition events. And here you can see now, we see now the UNF Remote Hackathon event, we see the competition name, we see the description, and we see the date that it's going to be held at. And now another feature of an admin is a users list. Now a users list is the names of all of registered accounts, registered users that have main account within the UNF Hackathon management system. So here you see are their names and their email addresses. Now, unfortunately, most hackathons, you do find participants who cheat in an event. And now for those who cheat in our hackathons, an admin has the ability to block that user where they cannot join. So in this case, we're just going to block the senior project account. And of course, we can always unban that account. And now another feature of an admin is a participate registration page. Now, this is where an admin gets to create other admin accounts in case if a teacher or a judge wants to create or judge hackathons. So another feature of an admin is now they have the ability to download the code that a user has uploaded. So we're now going to be downloading the code that Christian has uploaded. So when we click on the upload code button, we are now taken to the upload code page, and now the admin there's a new feature called download zip file, which an admin has to download a zip file where an admin will get a zip file of all the participation's code. And once we open that, so here you can see is the codes that the participants have uploaded. And of course, here is the code that Christian has uploaded. So now as an admin, we have the ability to run the code, the Python file in our editor, and we get to decide whether or not we want to give it a score. And so for that, we go under the leaderboard, and here we have the features to increase or decrease scores. But in our case, let's say we do like the file that Christian has uploaded, and we're now going to increase the score by 1. So as soon as I click, so here you can see is the score that we just incremented it by. So now we just increased the score by 1, and now we go to our final feature as an admin, which is the export analytics. Now, export analytics is basically a CSV file of all the competition's data. So as soon as I click this button, this will give us a CSV file of all the competition's data. So as you can see, here is the CSV file of the participants, their names, the competitions they participated in, and the date and time that the competition's held at, and the scores that the admins just gave them. So now this pretty much concludes everything from the admin side. This includes everything from the admin features, and I will now hand it off to Jonathan, who will now finish the rest of the presentation.
In conclusion, we believe that we were able to meet the goals of the project. Through the management system, the university can now host more hackathons. The management system gives them the tools necessary to do so. They can now better market the hackathon. They can leverage the website to market upcoming competitions in order to attract more participants. The decision makers for the hackathon now have the tools available to them to make better decisions. This can be done through looking at participation data, site hits, or event interest that they can now see because of the project. Finally, our group would like to thank our client, Dr. Ghosh. It was a pleasure working with you these past 8 months. Thank you to our mentor, Mr. Ohlrich. We really appreciate that you took your time to teach us things from coding practices to coding techniques. Thank you to Professor Karthik for his efforts to conduct this virtual symposium and for being a good professor these past 8 months. And thank you to the audience for taking time off your busy schedules, and we really appreciate your viewership. Thank you, and again, we are the devs.